The day you've all been waiting for has arrived. You thought it was yesterday with the 3-1 win against Chelsea. No. I'm here to inform you that the day you've been waiting for is today, because today we have a real proper link to Youssef En-Nesyri, and rightly so. Let's be honest, a transfer window isn't a real transfer window without a link to Youssef En-Nesyri. I feel a bit fraudulent bringing this to you, but it is a genuine story. It is out there. The Spanish press are talking about it. I'm not saying I believe this at all, but one thing I do believe is there is some interest in the player from David Moyes. That is beyond doubt. And I couldn't help but thinking, because he's quite good in the air, En-Nesyri. I mean, we got a close look at him, of course, when we played against Sevilla a couple of seasons ago in the Europa League. I thought one of the games he was a damn sight better than... I think the first one he was useless, the second one he was a bit better, if memory serves me correctly. Maybe I got that wrong around. But he's very good in the air. And David Moyes really likes him. And we've been linked with him for so long. When I checked his age, I thought he's going to be 100 or something like that, you know. A joke. But, you know, I thought he's going to be 30, 29, 30. I looked. He's 26. He's only 26. We must have started getting linked to the fellow when he was 12 or something like that. So he's young enough. I think that does seem to be the case. I do remember the first time we were linked to him, he said he didn't want to come. He was happy in Sevilla, happy in Spain. No problem. No, I haven't got any problem with people doing that at all. I think he did that the second time as well. I don't know, sometimes you just take a bit of a hint, don't you? So I don't know if that's changed now. It's got a whiff of the Michy Batshuayi about it, this particular chase. A bit of a Jesse Lingard chase. Oh, that might be bearing a little bit of fruit soon, let's be perfectly honest. I think the one thing I would say with En-Nesyri, he's probably in a position where, I was going to say Nathan Gerd probably speaks quite highly of the club. But look, I thought Gerd was really good up until the point he lost his head. He's probably on the naughty step today. Probably got a lot of time on his hands for the next week or so. So maybe he's been on the phone to his international teammate. I don't know. I couldn't help but think that David Moyes would be licking his lips at the prospect of James Ward-Prowse putting over corners and having another big guy in the box who's good in the air. I think it's gonna be very, very interesting for him set plays this season. That much is for sure. The bad news is, so I stayed up quite late last night doing a video up until, honestly, it was by the time I'd finished editing it and the rest of it, it's gone midnight. I was cream crackered. I found some addicted bloody app game that I was playing on my phone. My daughter downloaded it on my phone, and I was playing that until the small hours as well. And so anyway, I stayed up late to do this news about Jeremy Doku because I was excited. Turns out I had no reason to get excited. I should have had an early night, really, because Man City are seriously interested in him, and that's according to Frabrizio Romano. I got to be honest with you, I don't even know who Frabrizio Romano was 3 years ago. And it's got to the stage now where I believe everything he says. Honestly, if he turned around and said water wasn't wet, I'd probably believe him. So if he's saying that Man City look like they're close to concluding the deal, it's a bit of a shame. I don't think West Ham have given up, though, by the way. So you're looking at about 40-odd million for him. But there's also a little bit of disparity in terms of Mohamed Kudus. So the difference is 3 million, apparently. I couldn't tell you exactly whether it's 40 million plus 3 million or 43 plus another 3, taking to 46. Honestly, I don't know. No one's going to really know unless you're part of the negotiations on that. But Fabrizio Romano again said that talks had stalled. I didn't say broken down. I think they're still negotiating, the two clubs, so maybe something can happen. I think maybe the little difference that I've since having a little while to think about it between Edson Alvarez and Kudus is Edson Alvarez, he was already quite annoyed he didn't get his move to Chelsea, so he's running his contract down. I don't know if that's particularly the situation with Kudus, but he has indicated that he would like to come to West Ham, and I would sort of hope watching that game, well, parts of that game anyway, would have encouraged him that maybe, just maybe, it might be something that he wants to do. I hope they can find an accord, because I do think it's really important that we bring in, as I say, somebody quick. So I would have really liked Doku, but what can you do? Is it Doku or Doku? I guess it doesn't matter. I don't even need to learn his name now if he's not coming. But I thought he would have been absolutely brilliant. And it's funny, actually, because I often think David Moyes doesn't mind. I thought Doku was was a bit greedy, really. David Moyes don't mind that. I've always thought that he doesn't mind. He likes people to carry the ball up the pitch. Doesn't mind when Ben Rama does it. Likes when Bowen does it. Likes when Lingard did it. He doesn't mind that at all. And I get the impression he doesn't. I think it's more a way for his team to get up the pitch, basically, and take a bit of pressure, off the defence and get a bit of a higher line. It sort of kills a bit of time and allows for the defence to reset, so I don't think he minds it. So I think both would be really good for West Ham, even though positionally they're a little bit different. I'm a little bit disappointed with the first one. Let's hope we can get a Kudus over the line. That would be really, really good indeed. The striker one with Youssef En-Nesyri, we are going to need a striker. There's little or no doubt about that. I thought Antonio, the way he played, the way it was selfless. It really was. The defending in the first half, and then just the way we talk about wasting time, allowing the defenders to get up the pitch. He reminded me a bit of Didier Drogba in that game. Drogba used to all the time. He used to win a foul, and then everyone had to have a breather. 30 seconds or something while they would, take the set piece and move up the pitch and all the rest of it. I thought it was really good. And if David Moyes is going to continue to play in that way, and he will, West Ham would really benefit from having another striker who can play that way. And I mean a senior striker, and as I've mentioned before, obviously say that with a view to Mubama coming through this season. That would be really good for him to come through, but Antonio, we've been really lucky, not lucky, we've managed it well in terms of his injuries. He's going to go at some point, isn't he? So I do think a striker would be really good. And you know what? I'm pretty buoyed, actually, by what I've seen in terms of the midfield. I think there was an obvious concern, a natural concern, from a lot of people, that you lose your best player and your captain in Declan Rice. You're thinking, how is the midfield going to function? Well, I got to say, I thought the midfield was pretty good against Bournemouth. Arguably, I don't think the midfield was as good against Chelsea. But, I think James Ward-Prowse stood out throughout the game. I have to say that. But it's all about moments, football. In the 2 moments, he was absolutely deadly. I mentioned it yesterday. I thought Souček was awful until he got later on in the second half. It was really weird because I was sort of trying to score it for our Hammers Chat player ratings. I don't know what to give. I always wanted to give him a none in the first half and a 10 in the second half. It was quite an incredible performance, actually, from him. So I think that's something to be pleased about. In fact, we've lost Declan Rice. Alvarez is there. We want to see a bit more of him, obviously, don't we? But so midfield looks pretty good. There's some rumours, as I know El Fornals being linked with Sevilla. I just hope there's not this sort of Pablo Fornals and Youssef En-Nesyri swap going on. Sorry, something I meant to mention at the start of the video. That would be a concern for me. I think Pablo Fornals got a big role to play this season. I really do. If Sevilla are interested and they want Fornals and we're interested in one of Sevilla's players, there's a natural swap to be done there. But you know what? They don't happen that frequently, these swap deals, do they? I just think there's been a number of times this season where we've had somebody that another team wants. And then they've had someone that would be good for us. And, for whatever reason, it's just not happened. So hey, maybe I'm worrying too much about it. The swap deals are just pretty hard to do, aren't they, really? And I can't think of too many that have actually been done in recent times. I'm not even just talking about West Ham. So there you go. There's the news as we stand at the moment. At the point of recording this, unless something breaking has happened right now, and I'm just literally going to refresh my browser while I'm on the screen so as I don't miss it. I'm looking for any Mavropanos news. It doesn't appear to have happened just yet, although I'm very, very confident that he will have signed. Anyway, I'll catch up with you tomorrow, no doubt.